For their third horror game, Bloober Team decided to make a sequel to Layers of Fear in the form of, well, Layers of Fear 2. Released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC May 28th, 2019, and on the Switch May 20th, 2021, it was met with mixed reviews and sits at a mediocre 68 on Metacritic for the PlayStation version, 6 points lower than the original. After sitting here for a bit trying to gather my thoughts on the experience, I'm having a hard time putting it to words. And I think that's the issue I have with the game. The game starts in what is seemingly a nightmare, where you make your way through a cruise ship that is falling apart and sinking. Our character, a nameless, voiceless actor, wakes up in their suite with creepy whispers coming from the director, voiced by the great Tony Todd. After exploring the suite, we exit to the halls of the ship where we stumble upon notes from the captain explaining to the crew that there is a production on board and to steer clear of the film crew. Things quickly get weird when hallways appear and disappear and creepy mannequins begin to appear and seem to be moving around on their own. Making our way through the ship, we come across a large disfigured creature that chases and kills us if caught. Throughout the story, we learn that there are 2 children on board, seemingly stowaways, that the captain has ordered the whole crew to be on the lookout for. Later on, we discover that one of the 2 children actually died on a cruise ship similar to the one that we are on now. Some light puzzle solving and exploring, much like the original, make up the bulk of the experience, but this time there are 4 major choices in each of the first 4 acts. These choices determine the cinematic you receive at the end. In my first playthrough, I chose to follow the director's direction. This ending reveals that you are actually playing as the little boy, and the ghost he sees is what I think is supposed to be his past haunting him. I don't know. The second ending is earned if you disobey direction, and it's shown that you are playing as the young girl. And finally, the third ending is a mix of obeying and disobeying direction, and it's not clear who you are, but there's a monstrous presence with some dialogue at the end. Since you're not supposed to learn the identity of the player character until the very end, much of the story is pretty vague, and it doesn't do a great job of making you want to keep going to find out more. Visually, the game is pretty hit or miss. Some textures and lighting look amazing and almost like they belong on current-gen hardware, whereas other times, they look like they belong more on the PS3. I know it's a smaller developer, but with the first Layers of Fear looking as good as it did, and even Observer looking better than that one, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why it's so up and down. Sound is by far the best part of all 3 of their games so far. Playing with headphones is an absolute must. The creaks and groans of the ship, as well as the scratching and shuffling of whatever is lurking around you, is top tier. So many times throughout the game I found myself stopping and getting spooked by some random noise and thinking, why can't the visuals match how good this sound is? One thing you may have noticed if you watched my playthrough is just how on the nose the references are. The carpet, twins, and bloody hallway from The Shining, and a full section of Act 4 is dedicated to the killings from the movie Seven. Don't get me wrong, I love good Easter eggs and all, but this was way too heavy-handed, and it actually took me out of the experience. By this point, you might be thinking to yourself, man, this is kind of all over the place and doesn't really sound all that good. And that's kind of where I'm at. Fantastic highs and abysmal lows make up the Layers of Fear 2 for me. So do I recommend it? I don't think so. If you can pick it up on sale and you want a quick spooky experience, I say go for it. But I definitely recommend the first game over this one. If you liked what you've seen so far in this series, please like and subscribe, because next up on my look back at Bloober Team is Blair Witch. And while I liked the original movie when it came out, not much of anything good has come from the franchise since. We'll see if this Polish developer can create something on par with the 1999 film. Until next time, thanks for stopping by. See ya.